Welcome to another edition of App of the Week. Today I'm going to show you a tool that I've actually shown you before. I've actually done a video on this before, but I wanted to do a refresh. The first one I did I wasn't happy with, so I'm redoing this one. And this is on Autocrat. Autocrat is a great tool to merge information from a Google Sheet into a PDF or into a Google Doc. The great thing about it is it's immediate, and it can send this doc to the person's Google Drive, or you can have it emailed them to them, or both. So I really like the ability to send this feedback to people, and I like how the ability to do it immediately. So let me show you how you set up Autocrat. Now, generally people run this through a Google Doc or Google Form, excuse me. So that they create a Google Form, fill it out, and then once they fill it out, the information goes into the doc and is sent to the recipient, to the responder. I typically see this with walkthrough forms, or for rubrics, or for awards ceremonies, things like that. So those are a few examples of where Autocrat might be used, but let me show you how to do it. Now, if you're running it through a Google form, there's a couple of things that you have to do first before you actually run Autocrat. If you're using it through Google Forms, you have to obviously create the form. So I have a mock form here. I just made a mock walkthrough form that I'm going to use as my example. So here's my walkthrough form that I made in Google Forms. You're also going to have to make a Google Doc that serves as your template. What is all this information going to be going into? So this is my template for my Google Doc. So you'll see here, I have all of the items that are on my Google form. So what I'll do here is I'll just split this so you can see them both. So here is my form, and here is my doc. Now you'll notice here, the items for each one match the items in bold in my doc. Now it doesn't have to be in bold. I just make mine in bold to distinguish the question, and the ones that this item over here that's not bold, those are going to be the actual responses. But you see everything that is in my form, I have included in my template, in my doc. So I just want to make sure that you guys can see you need to add each item. So let me go back and view my doc. Now, once you've added each item, you'll notice I have these little tags here. It's these little 2 carets on both sides, on the beginning and the end, and then I have some text here. Now the text can be really whatever you want it to be. I recommend making the text here identical to the name of the item. So you see here I have teacher name, then identical I have here teacher name, without the space. Same thing, teacher email, and then teacher email there with the 2 carets, and you'll do that for each one all the way down. Distinguish it as much as you can, but it doesn't have to match, but it makes it easier when you actually run Autocrat if they are identical. If they're not identical, it's not a big deal. I'm going to show you how to manage that. So now that you have your template set up and your Google Form set up, now what you need to do is you need to go to the spreadsheet where all of your responses are going to. And this is where you will set up your Autocrat. So Autocrat is a Google Sheets add-on that you will be able to utilize. So you're going to go here and click add-ons. And if you don't have Autocrat, you'll go here to get add-ons to add Autocrat in here. So I already have mine in here. So I'm going to select that one and go to launch. You'll see it start to run on the right hand side of my screen. And then the first thing I'm going to go do here is I'm going to click this red button that says new merge job. Okay, now once that comes up, now the next thing I need to do is I follow these 3 steps down here. The first thing it's going to ask me to do is choose a template. So now I want to pull up that Google Doc that I just showed you from here. Now if you don't have a template, you can actually just make one from here, but I am going to choose a template from my drive. So when I select that, I can go here and select my template. And once my template is selected, you got to give your merge job a name. So I'm just going to call this mock mock walkthrough template, say set. And now it's going to bring me to the next section, which is to map my tags. And this is where it is going to look up the tags that I have. So the tags that had those 2 characters on the side, it's going to list all of those here. And then what it's going to do is ask you to match the tag with each item. So my teacher name tag, I'm going to go and find the corresponding sheet header. So in this case, it'd be teacher name. A teacher email tag, I'm going to find teacher email, so on and so forth. There's observer, contents. If it's identical, then generally it'll be easier for it to pick it up and recognize it, so it'll do it automatically. Otherwise, you'll have to go through and select it. So here's lesson plans. I'm going to go through and select each one of these. Okay, now once you have all of these filled in, they're all corresponding correctly, you can go ahead and hit save. And now you can move on to the final step, which is the merge settings. So the first thing it's going to give you up here is it's going to give you just some basic tags with a $sign in front of it. This is everything that you had in your spreadsheet, all of the tags that you created. They are sitting right there. So that's important to know. And when you get to this section, it's going to ask you for a file naming convention. So when this goes out to the person's Google Drive, and when they get an email for this, what do you want the attachment to be called? So you can name it whatever you want to. So I'm just going to call this walkthrough for, and now I'm going to use one of these tags here. I can just copy and paste it here, and now this will put in whatever the name of the person is that I select. That teacher's name will pop there. So it personalizes it, something I really like, and the teachers will really appreciate there. So using those tags to personalize the naming convention can really help. So I have that there, walkthrough for, then it has the teacher's name. Then I can select, is my file going to be a Google Doc or is it going to be a PDF? It's up to you. I'm just going to leave mine as a Google Doc. Now I can stop there, or I can check this box off to email or share this as a merged document. So if I want this to be emailed and shared with them, I would need to check this box off. So I'm going to select that. And now here I can type in, I can enter information for the email. So in the to section for the email address, I'm going to use this, the tag that I used that was in my spreadsheet for teacher email. I'm going to copy and paste that tag and put it here. That way, whichever teachers I select, their email address will pop up there. I can type in the subject, and then I'm going to put in a message here that will go out in the email. Okay, so I have my message in here, and I even put one more tag in there for the observer, for whoever the observer is. And then in the merge document, I can choose for this to be a view only Google Doc and editable. You see all the options down there, even a PDF. I'm just going to leave mine as a view only Google Doc, but you certainly have options up there. And then lastly down here, they have these advanced settings. Now I'm not going to use all of them, but I will explain these a little bit more detail. So this first one where it says conditional merge settings, where I can set it so that the document will only merge if certain conditions are met. I'm going to leave that alone for right now, but you could, if you wanted to set those conditions, you could do that here. You can set a destination folder. If you already have a folder where all of these items, where you want all these items to go, you can add the folder there. If not, it'll automatically create a folder for you. So this is nice because I said before, when you hit submit, all the information is merged into a document, goes to the recipient. You also get your own copy, and your own copy will live in this folder. So if you already have one developed, you can add it here. If you don't, it'll automatically create one for you. So I'm just gonna let it automatically create it for me so you can see what that looks like. You can also have a secondary key folder, and what this is if I wanted to set it so that certain walkthrough forms go into one folder and other walkthrough forms go into another folder, this is where I would do that. For example, if I wanted all my English teacher walkthroughs to go on my English folder, and on my math teacher walkthrough forms to go on my math folder, And so same thing with science, same thing with social studies, same thing with all subject areas. You could separate each one of those, and every time you fill out an English walkthrough form, it would go in the English folder, and the same thing with math, so on and so forth. So that is where you would prescribe that here. If you are interested in learning how to do that, send me a comment in the bottom, and I will post another video on how to do that. It's something you have to do within the spreadsheet, but I'd be happy to show you how to do that. So that's what the secondary key folder is. And then also down here, finally, you can set it so that Autocrat will run when new forms are submitted. That is the one that I would recommend. Or you can set it on a time interval, so it'll go on an hourly basis or on a daily basis, depending on what's best for you. I would recommend just running it when a new form is submitted. So now I'm going to hit save, and now once it's saved, you'll see that my walkthrough, my merge document is right here. And now you'll be able to preview and edit it if you want to go back to it. But once everything is all done, you'll be able to just select Run Merge Template. And once it's finished running, you'll see OK. And you'll see, and you'll notice in your spreadsheet, new options will come up here. A merge doc ID, merge URL, and other information will show there. So let me go back here to my folder that I created here. Now you see it just popped up right there. The merge template, merge document folder was created. So now every time I fill out this form, Autocrat will run and send me a copy of the merge document here. Here is the merge document for this particular teacher, so we can open this up. And we can see that everything that I filled out in my spreadsheet, everything I put in my form is now showing here. And just to show you what it looks like from the teacher's end, I'm going to go back to my teacher account. Now if I go to my teacher section, here is my email that I got from them. I can click on that and I can see there's the email that was there. There's an attachment with my feedback, my walkthrough feedback form. And now it's available for me to view as an instructor. So that is Autocrat for educators. Hopefully that will give you guys who are using this tools, who are doing walkthroughs, who are doing rubrics through this, a good starting point on using this great tool that's available for you in Google Sheets.